North Korea has censured a United Nations resolution that condemns the country's human rights record, calling it a serious provocation. The resolution, which criticizes what it calls systematic, widespread and gross human rights violations in North Korea, was passed by consensus without a vote at the UN General Assembly on December 17. It marks the 14th consecutive year the UN has approved such a document. In an editorial, North Korea's state-run Rodong newspaper condemned the UN document as a serious political provocation against the North and a vicious move to tarnish its international image. The editorial also slammed "thoughtless" South Korea for supporting the UN resolution, saying the move would be tarnishing the atmosphere of improving the North-South ties. Seoul and Pyongyang have been improving their relations since January this year. Rodong also lashed at the United States. The wicked intention of the U.S. in getting vocal about the non-existent human rights issue of the DPRK is to broaden the scope of the sanctions and pressure and escalate them, Rodong said in the editorial, using the initials of North Korea's official name. Earlier this month, the U.S. abandoned an attempt to hold a UN Security Council session to slam North Korea's human rights record after failing to muster enough support for the bid. But Washington hopes to hold a meeting in January, when 5 new non-permanent members rotate onto the Security Council that could be more favorable to doing so. The U.S. stance comes despite attempts by President Donald Trump to work with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un toward the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. Trump met with Kim for the first time in Singapore in June, when dialogue was opened between the two countries on the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula after months of exchanging military threats. There has been talk by the U.S. of a second summit early next year, but it is unclear whether North Korea would agree to the holding of that summit. U.S.-North Korea talks for a denuclearization deal appear to have stalled in part due to disagreements over the timing of U.S. sanctions relief. The potential holding of the Security Council meeting on North Korea will in all likelihood further complicate Trump's attempts.